All right, welcome to the Rubicon Trail Foundation channel. I am Ken Hauer, one of the directors, and this is...
John Larson, also a director on the Rubicon Trail Foundation.
Yep, and we do a lot of the videos that you see on the channel. We record a lot of them, we do the editing and stuff, and we thought we'd do something fun today. Last summer, a video came out by a huge channel, right?
Yeah, huge. They have over a million subs. Probably the biggest off-road channel, maybe?
Probably, yep. And they're a bunch of guys from Australia, and they came out to the United States, and we think they bought like a rig out here. We have not talked to them. We don't know. Yeah. We've never met them. Glenn, our mid-trail staff has, but not us.
They shipped Shawno's rig out, and then they bought what looks to be JKJL Rubicon manual, which I know they were excited about that.
Yeah, for sure. And so when I watched this video, and I know you watched this video, and a lot of us from the foundation watched the video, and they were super kind to us, talking about a lot of how they couldn't believe how clean the trail was compared to Australian trails. So it was very nice to hear how complimentary they were. But they did the video, and it is great. And when I watched the video, I don't know about you, and we'll see the scene later, and I'm not going to mention it until we get there, but just the sheer joy that they had while they were on the trail. We are so jaded, I guess is the best way to put it, because we're there all the time. I've been there hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times at this point. Just to see the joy that they had on their faces and their reaction to it was great. And the second I saw it, I said, oh, we got to do like a reaction video. So that's what we've decided to do today.
Yes.
And so just sit back, ease your seat back, and we're gonna check out the video. So let's get this rolling and get it started here. So let's do that, and we will.
You had a slight lapse of concentration. You're committed to this line, you can't go back.
So they're on Walker Hill right there.
Yeah, we know exactly where that.
Right where he rolled. Dirt bike.
On the start of the Rubicon Trail. Whole wheel is coming out.
That looks like a Dana 35 C-clip axle. Broke a shaft. Look on his face right there.
He's on the winch 3 meters onto the Rubicon Trail. First light camping.
Awesome. That's actually the RTF property, but we'll talk about that later when we get there.
It's also crazy they got a bear during the day.
I know, right?
Like
they always steal my stuff at night. I don't know about you. Beef jerky, like habanero. Last time was habanero beef jerky they stole.
It's usually between 4 to 6 a.m.
I hope it hurt twice.
Oh God. So they're heading up Ice House.
After shipping over the Dirty 30 to the US of A and building up four-wheel drive 24/7's first ever Jeep, we're inbound.
See, that's the one that we were pretty sure that they bought here in the United States or rented it or something.
Yeah, I wonder.
Oh, look, that sign. Shannon Shard. If you don't know Shannon Shard, a recent Rock Award winner at Black Time Boots this year, she's the one who painted that sign for the county.
Yeah, friends of the Rubicon Trail boss.
We're in a movie, mate.
So that's the second dam.
There's snow, there's peaks, there's mountains, there's rocks.
You know, I had a lot of sort of ideas in my head when I first planned this trip, and to get here and see it with my own eyes.
Kind of reminds you of the first time
Look at this.
seeing them on their first time.
There's helicopters taking off. There's all sorts of things happening.
I think that was Jeep Jamboree USA getting ready for their trip.
Located
It was
in
July.
the northeast of the US state of California and a few hours inland from California's capital, Sacramento, the Rubicon is known around the world as an A-grade.
Clearly, they're from Australia and they came all the way.
Yeah.
So I actually have a good story on that. I was on the Rubicon Trail several years ago, and you know, obviously being on the foundation and being on the trail a lot of the times, and I have a very capable rig, like you have a very capable rig. Mm-hmm. You know, we see people that are not doing well. So,
yes.
And because we have ham radios, we always like get a hold of them. And anyway, I come up on a bunch of guys, me and Emily come up, and there's a bunch of guys there parked right before Buck Island Lake. And of course I rolled up on them, and there's like maybe 5 or 6 Jeeps. And I said, hey, are you guys doing okay? Need anything? And they go, with a really funny accent, which I'm not even going to attempt to replicate. they said, "Oh yeah, we're fine." And I said, and then that's when I started looking around and I saw license plates that were very different than ours. And I said, "Where are you guys from?" And they go, "We're from Norway."
wow.
And I was like, "What?" They're like, "Yeah, we're from Norway." And I said, "Wait a minute, but those are your Jeeps." And they go, "Yep, we put them in a shipping, we took them apart, we put them in a shipping container, we shipped them to New York, and we drove from New York all the way to California to go do the Rubicon Trail." So he's not wrong. It's known the world over, and people come from all over. It's a dream. And clearly, as we'll see in this video, it is their dream.
19 kilometres in length, but this track features some of the most insane and intense technical wheeling you'll ever find, anywhere. With barely an inch of flat ground to be found along the treacherous diff-banging, panel-scraping boulder minefield that makes up this insane trail.
Bang.
The locals build up some pretty wild rigs to tackle it.
They have not seen buggies like that.
No, that's...
At the start of the Rubicon Trail.
We'll let it play for a minute.
Completely, I think it's outrageous. I've never seen it before. The start of the track is just over here. Look at the car park. That's right, the car park. They've all got trailers.
Trailhead
There's
staging.
no boat ramp in sight. They've all got buggies and like massive big vehicles. They trailer down here to actually wheel them. There's just trailers as far as you can see. This is very, very different. And
there's Glenn. Glenn, our RTF mid-trail staff right there.
Oh, it's so cool.
Trails in the world. Pretty excited.
This trip has been years in the making for Graham and I.
Oh, I imagine they planned this out for a long time.
Yeah, if I was going to wheel Australia, it'd be years in the making.
Yeah.
Right next to me, my good friend, the nicest guy in the four-wheel drive industry. Pete,
Looking at their
he's going to be my
desk over there.
co-driver, and I'm psyched to have him here. He's going to jump
A
behind the
lot
wheel every now and
of
again.
stuff on there.
I'm real, isn't it? I can't believe it. It is. I'm frothing, folks. You've seen me froth so many times before, but now I'm doing it in the US of A.
They haven't even made it to Gatekeeper yet.
I know, they're
making
their way to Gatekeeper.
But Tim from Mitts Alloy has
It's crazy seeing those type of rigs with the crazy like cargo.
And one thing we have to say right there, right off the bat, clearly, I don't know anything about that person, but a snorkel in California is about as useful as white walls on a Cadillac on your rig. There's no place that I'm aware of, not even the Fordyce.
I was going to say even on Fordyce.
No, if the Fordyce is high enough that you need a snorkel, you're in Lake Spalding.
Yeah, like
You're gone.
There's nowhere out here where you're really going to need that snorkel.
No, not at all.
We couldn't do a USA trip without inviting a few local legends along.
It is crazy to see a bunch of IFS rigs. They look very overlander to me, you know, instead of rock crawler.
Yeah, when they say local legends, I've never seen these guys on the trail at all. So they may be local to the US, but I've never seen them. They could be, but I don't. Yeah, there's Gatekeeper.
The way it goes is like this. If you can't make it past this one, then the local advice is you might be best to turn around.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
For us, that's a pretty long way. So the pressure really is
Yeah, if you
on.
can't make it through Gatekeeper, you should go maybe reconsider. Run some other trails and maybe build up your rig a little more.
And I've seen people turn around.
Yeah, that one Bronco.
And
this is your first challenge.
I'm thinking to myself, preservation, Sean, don't drive anything too hard.
Yep.
I see a bonus line straight away.
Straight away, you do it?
I think I'm going to give it a go.
Mate,
What does he call them, bonus line?
Give it a go. Give it a go. Although that's British, probably.
Oh yeah, some of the slang terms and stuff.
Low range obstacle.
We've come to the US with a simple mission, and that's to try and drive the toughest tracks in vehicles built the Aussie way, with moderate lifts and only 35-inch tyres. Now,
Yeah.
while it might seem big by Australian standards, it's not by American.
No.
There's a fair bit to prove, but as it turns out, it's
Yeah,
also
I'm
on
a
40s. What are you on?
experience.
37s or 40s, depending on the rig.
Yeah,
40s.
yeah, you got a couple rigs.
Yeah,
I do have a flat fender on 32s, but
This track
that's a whole
requires
different animal.
perfect
Yeah.
placement to navigate
Yeah.
the many rocks and
And he's
boulders.
diffed out.
Most rigs are 37s and 35s, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like everyone these
Or
days,
more.
37s to 40s is like the new 33 to 35 range.
Yeah.
You know, 15, 20 years ago, 33s, 35. 35s were a big tire.
When I first started, Armstrong True Tracks, 31-inch Armstrong True Tracks. That was about the biggest tire you could get.
Track is closed on beach days, bro.
I'm old.
They sent the Aussies across just to have a bit of a go. Not to see what Sean has
They're-
done. He's tried
He's
to step
diffed
up
out
for a
right
go
at
to the
Gatekeeper
bonus
too.
Yep.
It was a hit and miss affair. Unfortunately, as the US citizens say, he struck out. Get on. Get out of here.
They're
He's on the
gonna winch
stream
right
and
now.
on
Yeah,
Rubicon Trail.
shit, they're winching already.
Oh well, it happens. It's just
Yeah.
usually there's lines through Gatekeeper where you can keep those diffs out of those rocks, but you got to get a little off camber.
Yeah. Oh, and here comes a buggy on 40s. He's
Yeah.
with rear steering at that.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's Outlaw 4x4. That was
Yeah.
somebody from Outlaw 4x4.
Yeah.
They go to the RTF property a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tiny winch, but you know what? You got to give these things a go. We're doing it.
I'm guessing too
Wheeling
they
in the USA.
maybe. I mean, I watch a lot of their videos. They do a lot of rock crawling, but maybe that caliber, that level of
No.
rock gardens, maybe they're just not used to. Like the intuition you have when you wheel that a lot.
And didn't make that winch.
Your intuition is to avoid the rocks, and then you end up high-centered on your diff when, in fact, the rocks are your friend. You want to stay on top of the rocks as much as possible.
And has decided to follow it exactly.
It's just always seeing these guys in the Utes, they call them, you know, and then seeing him in a Wrangler is crazy. Like that part
Yeah.
is mind blowing.
And he probably doesn't have a lot of experience with it, so I doubt he knows where everything is underneath it, like knows where his diffs are. I don't think he.
Oh yeah, it probably has no seat time in it.
Yeah, he hasn't. Yeah, exactly.
Like the seat time to understand like your wheelbase and your diffs. What's going to be a diff hanger for your rig? So they got the first two rigs, winch and Gatekeeper, huh?
First challenge.
Yeah.
100% on the winch.
So what do you say? That probably took them like an hour to get through there easily with two winchings.
Yeah, the way
All
they're jumping
equipment
together.
and recording. I think it probably was an hour just to get through Gatekeeper.
You'd often see
Yeah,
traffic
recording double, triple your wheeling time easily, maybe more, quadruple.
harsh US
We have
conditions.
a little of experience in doing
The
that.
Tacoma is a
Yeah.
popular US pickup.
And they're probably all stoked, so they're all the guys are hanging out talking while they're spotting, and someone gets stuck, and they've never been here before. They're so stoked.
That's the ticket. That's the ticket.
Yeah, that's a
That's not a rock crawling rig. I mean, it's a beautiful rig, but it's not made for rock crawling.
That's a cool
on
truck.
Rubicon.
For me,
yeah. That's
37s,
he's got
then
fun on Rubicon on that.
But I bet you it cooks a mean meal with all that stuff that
yeah.
they're carrying.
I give him a lot of respect for wanting to bring those through the trail.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I got my burrito from it wrapped in foil on the manifold to heat up.
Manifold burritos.
Yep.
That's what you're doing.
Tim Wardlow. I don't know if you know Tim on the trail. Tim is he's a chef, top-notch chef for cooking on his engine. Shout out to Tim.
Oh yeah. Manifold burritos for lunch. Throw them on after breakfast, or throw them on for breakfast. Let them cook on the intake.
Yeah, look at they got a lot of scraping and banging.
That's just a lot of weight that
Yeah.
I'm not used to, because those things don't look light.
No.
They call them something. They're
I don't know what
caravan. No, I can't remember.
and I don't know what air pressure they're running at, but it's pretty high.
Yeah.
I mean, look at there's a little flex when he hits a raw, but
Oh yeah.
they're running their air.
Maybe at like 20.
What do you run at?
I mean, if we're just doing a casual Rubicon run, probably 11
Yeah.
to start, and then if depending on the day, the temperatures, how I'm wheeling, maybe go down to 9, 8, but usually 10, 11 just to start.
Yeah, 10 usually mean 9 or 10.
Yeah, and then drop it down from there if I need to.
And I was so concentrated
But
on
definitely not over 12. So yeah, they look like they're at least at 20 right there. And I know a lot of their videos,
use for days.
they go 18, 20, like in Australia.
Yeah.
Which is pretty high for Rubicon.
Yeah.
Shorty up in the shed on any tough tracks. But he seems to be getting the hang of Jeep life.
I'll give them this. They're taking the hard line coming out of Gatekeeper going up to the top because there's an easier line that goes around to the left there, and they went the hard line. So I give them a lot of credit for that.
Yeah, and he probably literally just got in that rig that day for the first time.
Yeah.
So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
On a trail dominated by buggies and short.
Oh, they're even sending that rig up.
The Tacomas
Wow.
have been raising a few
That's
eyebrows.
actually kind of impressive because that looks like it's on, I don't know, is it 33s with how long the wheelbase is, that overhang?
It's hard to tell. Yeah. I think they're 35s, but
35s. So 35s, but IFS rig.
the 35s are the new 33s.
I know. Yeah. Or like IFS rig 35s, that big rear overhang, all that weight up top. That's I give them some respect for taking that line in those rigs.
That's it.
That is cool though. Like looking at that little
Yeah.
mini truck bed on the back with that cool storage on the back, it's pretty rad.
Just put your lockers on.
I mean, they go out for weeks at a time. You know, we go to Rubicon for a day or two.
He just said put your lockers on. I'm like, that section there, just looking at it, I would have started with my lockers on with that rig anyway.
That is something that we do see a lot where people think keeping your lockers off means you won't break, but then you hit a hard, difficult obstacle where you needed them in the first place, and then you end up in a spot where you could break because you've got excessive wheel spin, maybe you're bouncing, you're hopping. Turning the lockers on before you hit the hard obstacle means you can more likely to crawl it.
Exactly, yeah.
So,
because at the end of the day, momentum is your friend. And so if you're on top of these rocks and you have a little momentum, it's when you sometimes stop, put on your lockers. Now it's hard. You've made it harder for you than if you just put them on for the 20 feet that you need it for.
Well, if you have a good line and you stop in the middle of it, you might slide off that rock.
Just because you don't have your lockers on.
Because you stopped and you're sliding because you lost your forward momentum. And so now you're sliding a little bit to the left or right, and then all of a sudden your diff's hung up.
Yep.
I've had that happen way too many times. I turn them on before I need them.
Yeah.
You can experience, and they, like I said, they've never wheeled the Rubicon.
No, yeah, they're clearly.
I would have had them all the way on through Gatekeeper.
I think all of them clearly have not done the Rubicon Trail very often. I don't know about those other guys that are from the States. I don't know anything about them, never met them or whatever, and certainly never seen them on the trail. I don't think that they've ever done it either, if I was just going to guess, because those rigs just aren't built for it.
Yeah.
Resorting to the Jeep button.
It's not the cheap button.
Yeah.
You just walk this.
It's not a shameful thing to run your locker.
I know Matt's off-road likes to go as long as he can before turning his thing into four-wheel drive, and I get that if you've been experienced and you know what you're doing or know where you're going, but not if you. Yeah, there's a lot of stress on his drive lines right
That's
there.
a difficult obstacle, though, especially for that rig.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would, Yeah, anyone else coming from Australia, turn your lockers on before Gatekeeper.
All right, so they've made it to Gatekeeper, or excuse me, to the bowl, and now they're dropping down into Beer Tree, which we did a video on Beer Tree.
Yeah, we have one on our channel. Check it out.
Sees hundreds of vehicles every weekend. With incredible camps, alpine lakes, and streams to check out along its length. Most people
Our
give
RTF
themselves
property
2 to
right
4
there.
days to complete it.
I've never seen anything like this. This is unbelievable.
Take that for granted. Just the sheer volume of rigs that come through.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That thing's on big tires. Those look like what, 44s?
44s.
Yeah, that's huge. And it's tall.
Rims are bigger than my tires.
Running leaves up front?
They're in the 50s, man.
But breakages are very common. Up ahead are a couple of locals
Whalebones.
who've had a serious mishap on a rock step, and the breakdown is causing a bit of traffic chaos as other weekend warriors try to make their way through.
Right, we've got a Jeep that's broken.
That hard left right here doesn't look very steep, but that's like straight up. And if you've never ran the trail before, it's intimidating. And the right side is body damage if you don't know what you're doing.
Out of the track, so I'm gonna winch you back over all these.
Yeah, I'll just pause it real quick. So that's they're actually at Whalebones right there. I'm not gonna. I could explain a lot about it on this video, but we're actually gonna film Whalebones with the person that named it Whalebones this summer, and we'll do a whole video of why it's called Whalebones and how that all happened. And I have a picture of Whalebones before it became Whalebones. So.
Wildest, and we'll get him out of here.
So that rig broke right there? Oh, is that the one in their intro that had the broken shaft?
Yeah.
It's a TJ. He's running at 35.
Yeah.
Don't run 35s. You can,
But this will happen.
and like I've seen way too many broken 35s between Gatekeeper and
This is
Whalebones.
what'll happen right here. The C-clip comes off.
It's a C-clip axle, not semi-floating. So when you pop a shaft, the whole axle, well, any semi-floating shaft actually, not full floating, shaft's going to come right out.
Yeah.
They're going to need to put a log or a high lift jack handle there to hold it in place.
I'll actually pause it. But yeah, I've seen at least 2 rigs come out with a log underneath there, strapped on there, and because it's gone, and they have, don't have any way to fix it. So, yeah, if you have a Dana 35 and you want to do the Rubicon Trail, just please, get a Dana 44 axle, build a Dana 44, and don't run a 35. Do not run a 35.
If you're in a TJ,
this will happen to you. It's not if, it's when.
Yeah, and it might, if you have experience and you put a lot of money in the 35, it might last a little while, but I've seen so many broken 35s.
And the ring and pinions, yeah.
It's like, yeah, and if you can't find a TJ 44, you can do a 488, which is also really common in the TJs.
And let me tell you, in 2025, there aren't that many people running around with a spare Dana 35 axle in the back of their rig. It's just not a thing.
Yeah.
So anyway.
These axles have a little clip on the end of them, and
Yep.
with the brakes, the axle just falls out with the whole hub assembly in the wheel. That's exactly what's happening here.
It's got an ARB winch, nice.
Those are nice.
So we're going to try and do is
Those
just
are
push
fancy.
that wheel on best we can, and then I'm just going to winch. It'll cut the wheel, will come back out. We'll do the same, rinse, repeat, until we get him back up on the flat.
Yeah, they're going to slide out every 5 feet, 2 feet. The axle
Yeah,
just
it just keeps coming out.
I had to try to get rigs with C-clip axles off the trail before, and it's not fun.
No.
That was quite the epic. It was, I've never seen a Jeep do that before, but it's probably pretty common. Just snapped as you saw.
Yes.
And it was just a lot of winches. We got it out onto the flat. Now the guys can at least be in a good spot to repair it, get some spares, and figure out what they do next. And
That's a really important point right there. Like, that's a catastrophic breakdown right there, right? Your trip's not going to go on if you do that. But they got the rig off enough so that they could open up the trail, because he was blocking whalebones, and there ain't no way around whalebones. You're not going around it. There's no way around it. So you have to get him off the trail.
Yeah.
And people that break down like that have a problem, especially a catastrophic one that's going to be a while, get your rig if you can. I mean, sometimes you can't, but if you can, get it off the trail just enough so that people can get by, and just be a good Rubicon citizen.
It's part of trail etiquette that if you break down, get your rig off the trail. Usually you can winch over. I mean, there's very few situations where you really can't move the rig.
Very few, but they do exist. And the other thing, part of that etiquette is if somebody's going faster than you, like these guys, they let all those other rigs. I think those rigs were coming out. It's hard to tell when in the video, but I think those rigs were coming out when they were going in. But when you got a buggy behind you on 40s or 44s, and you're on a Jeep on 35s and 37s, you're not going to be able to go faster than them. You're just not going to be able to go faster. So just when the first time you get an opportunity to let them go by, just let them go by. Trust me, you're never going to see them again. So that whole like being passed or being in the left lane and blocking traffic, like don't do it. It's just, there's nothing to be gained by it, and it's just going to cause you aggravation when you're there to enjoy yourself. You're there to enjoy yourself. So let them enjoy themselves at their speed, and you enjoy it at your speed.
Yeah.
And you'll have a great day.
also, it keeps the track open as well. Didn't think I'd be recovering Jeeps today, but
there's a flat fender.
work.
Yeah.
And that's whalebones are going up right there.
And we've made it just a single mile
it's
through this
steep.
epic track.
Yeah.
And we really need to get a rattle on.
I like going up it more than I like going down it. I hate going down it.
I can tell the shadows are starting to get long here, so they've been at this for quite a while.
Oh, wow. And
Well, that was good.
I mean, that's, they're 20 minutes in on a normal day if there's no traffic.
There's not a single metre of
lot
flat
of weight
ground on the
going up
entire route, and keeping your panel straight on the endless rocks and boulders takes a lot of concentration, and occasionally the need to even help out a
Dirt
local.
bikers. That's not, I've seen them before I've seen dirt bikers out there before.
He's ridden a bike before.
Yeah.
Before you know it, an entire day
Yeah,
has
they're not
passed.
even to Ellis.
Lights getting lower,
No.
and it's
Oh,
time
wow, yeah, they're
for
not even to
another
Ellis. They're
Look
making
at
their way to
lifestyle
Ellis.
experience. Camping
They're
in
almost
the
there now.
USA.
Yeah, they're passing the.
They're almost there.
Yeah, they've passed the intertie.
Yeah, the intertie that goes to Wentworth Loop.
Yeah, but now they're back. I can tell right there. They're before
I
it.
said when we wanted to do the Rubicon Trail, we spoke to a few locals. Well,
Yeah.
you can't really do it on 35s.
Yeah, they haven't
Turns
got
out,
that.
this far,
Now they're after
just
the
whole
intertie,
concept
and
of
the other one
taking
shot was
30,
before the
30
intertie. It's
overseas
always
and actually wheeling
funny how they cut it and they jump back and forth on the trail.
It's working.
And you could do the trail in 35s. You
Now
can do it
they're
on 33s.
now they're coming up to the intertie. That's the
Oh, yeah.
rock section coming up to the intertie. Now they're before the intertie.
Oh, man. Movie magic.
Yeah, there's Loon Lake in the background. Gorgeous lake. Here's an item. We're actually going to do a video on it, but very few people know there is a power plant that's like 1,700 feet underneath Loon Lake. So, yeah, it
awesome.
literally drains like a bathtub to power a power plant and sends the water on down the line, making power. So it's pretty cool.
We're making camp for the night. I can't wait for that.
Oh, man.
With so many people on the track today, we thought finding a campsite to ourselves
And they call it a
might be
track.
a bit of a struggle.
Yeah.
But our luck has held out, and
Tracks.
up ahead is the perfect spot.
They're camped right before
Right at-
Ellis on the left
they're
side.
right at Ellis.
I've camped there before, but that was like hitting the trail at midnight, and we were exhausted and stopped here to sleep.
They definitely, all this stuff is not great
in this
for
game
rock
now,
crawling.
fella.
All this stuff that they have is not great for rock crawling, but man, it's really nice for being able to set up a camp with all that stuff.
Yeah, because you're setting up that whole camp and tearing it down every day.
Every
and
day.
That's a lot of gear.
Yeah.
Wow, look at me. Way too long almost. I'm going to come out with a big revelation right now. I've got a sore neck from looking at all the scenery today. It was one of the best, if not the best day I've ever spent off-roading ever in my entire history of four-wheel driving. I've frothed it that much, and we've done like that of that. Apparently we've got some gnarly stuff coming up. The scenery changes. We get really high elevation. There's a chance we're going to see snow. We're camping for the first time in America. As good as it gets.
Pretty cool.
As good as it freaking gets.
All right.
That part-
this is actually why we're doing this video.
That
Is that
right there.
scene right there.
Yep.
Like, okay, that guy. I go to Ellis Creek to have lunch.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean, we've literally gone there just to have lunch.
Casual day run.
Have
for
a
lunch.
casual day, maybe have an adult beverage, chit chat, and then maybe head out Wentworth Springs and go out that way, or turn around and go back.
Mm-hmm.
And that guy just said that was the greatest day of four-wheeling in his entire life. That's when I realized that I really take for granted how fortunate I am.
Yes.
I'm sure you feel the same way.
Yeah, that sort of gratitude for just Gatekeeper to Ellis, I was like, and it's so sincere, and it's like, oh my God, like we drive this so much now, you kind of forget how awesome
forget.
it is. And usually when I'm trying to get to Ellis and it's a weekend and there's rigs in front of you and you wish they would move over and you're
Right?
and it's like, maybe I should slow down and have the mentality. And I used to have that mentality, 20 years ago.
Stop and smelling the roses. I can assure you, I don't smell the roses anymore when I'm there.
Not from Gatekeeper to Ellis.
No, but it really does show like what a dream trip this is for somebody to come from Australia. And what it means to them to see it. The greatest day of four-wheeling, and he's literally only gone 1.25 miles of the entire trail, like literally.
They're really close to the trailhead as the crow flies.
Yeah. When I'm coming back, when I get to Ellis Creek, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm almost back. Like,
That's like coming out on a Sunday or something.
coming out on a Sunday when I when I see the
tired.
bridge, I'm like, does anybody have to use the restroom? Because
You're almost off the trail.
if anybody needs to drop the kids off the pool, that's the last chance to drop the kids off at the pool.
Oh, good point. That's the first bathroom.
That is the first bathroom and the last one if you're going out the other way.
Yeah.
So, that's the only reason when I'm leaving is anybody need to drop the kids off at the pool?
It's also a really
No.
it's a really good gauge to know how long the trip's going to take you. If it does take you all day to get to Ellis, it probably will be 3 nights on the trail for you or more.
Yeah, and we get these questions all the time on the Rubicon Trail page. I mean, last time I looked, there's like 44,000 people subscribed to our Rubicon Trail page.
Oh my God.
And we get this questions all the time. Hey, I'm coming out for 2 days in July, and they live in Kansas and they're coming out to do. No, do not.
3 to 4 days.
Listen to me. Do not do the trail in 2 days if you're coming out for your dream trip to the Rubicon. Take 4 days, minimum 4 days, minimum.
I agree. I actually wish I could spend more time out there and spend 5 days, 6 days, and spend almost close to a week.
Yeah.
You get to enjoy it more. And there's nothing wrong with stopping at Ellis for the night. And I think you get to enjoy the trail a little more.
Yeah.
By spending more time at different locations instead of just, because if you're bombing through in a day or two, it's grueling. The pace would be grueling.
You get focused. People get focused of like, okay, I have a plan. And let me just explain it to you. That guy in the black TJ that we saw earlier in the video, he had a plan that day. He was going to do something and he had a plan. The Rubicon takes your plan and crumples it up into a little ball and throws it into the waste paper basket. You take your plan and it's gone. So always when you come to the Rubicon, you know, I call it Rubicon time, right? Okay, we need to get to Buck Island by 10 o'clock. You're on Rubicon time, man. You're gonna run into somebody that needs your help. You're gonna need some help. Your buddy that's with you is gonna need some help. You're gonna have more problems in a section and need a winch like these guys did. Things go haywire. They go haywire.
Yeah. It'll find your weak spot.
Yeah, it will find your weak spot.
The one little thing on your rig.
Exactly. It will find it and exploit it.
You didn't torque your brake caliper bolts 100% tight, or you had a questionable brake line or clutch line, or not just axle shafts and drive shafts and steering.
Is the Rubicon the hardest trail in the world? No, not even close. It's an experience, but it is pretty relentless. Like obstacle, 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 obstacle. And then the other thing that we get all the time, and then we'll go back to the video. The other thing we get all the time is, I'll take all the bypasses.
I knew that was coming. I knew you were going to say that because we get that asshole
all the time. If I take all the bypasses, can I make it through in my 1997 Toyota Tacoma on 29s?
There's not.
What's the answer to that?
No.
No,
there's no.
No, you can. There are a few bypasses in a few areas, but that's not the Rubicon Trail. That's not the Rubicon Trail. Is like in Moab, right? You'll have like Widowmaker, and you can go around Widowmaker. Big sluice box on the Rubicon. There is no going around big sluice box. It is the thing. Whalebones. There is no bypass around. You saw whalebones just a minute ago going up that steep granite face. There's no bypass around that.
Well, the few bypasses there are would be like you could bypass Supple or you could bypass Little Sluice. But the bypass for Little Sluice isn't like a cakewalk. It's not a...
No.
What we call bypasses are less difficult than extremely difficult. They're still difficult.
Exactly.
Like, they're not like a dirt road. I think people in their mind have that visual of like a bypass being like a little dirt road or something. It's like, no, it's still a difficult rock section.
And you're not going to run into a Starbucks drive-through on the bypass of Little Sluice Box. I hate to break it to you, but it's not there. All right, let's roll.
We might be the opposite side of the
But look
road,
at that video shot is just insane.
That
Okay,
system.
this whole system, not great for wheeling, but awesome for what they're doing right now, camping.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, very nice.
So you can travel 15,000 kilometers, but the exact same thing happens when you come to America. Camera boys load you up with absolutely everything because...
I'm glad they converted it to miles because I have no idea what 15,000 kilometers means.
Yes. Neither do I.
Like 9,000 miles.
Wait until he tells us that he's got his rig weighs how many kilos, and we'll have to pull out a calculator.
No clue what that means either.
We're all
Yeah.
doing it together, so it's lots of fun.
I mean, that's a super nice rig.
He could be out on the trail for like 2 weeks with that setup.
Oh,
With camp set up,
Which would be
and
cool.
a couple
That
of
had
mates
organ
from
plates?
Stella built joining us at camp, it's time to get a fire going.
Stellar-
and
was that
maybe
Stellar?
even
Yeah,
have a
Stellar
swim.
built.
The
They,
daytime temps
I
around
think they
here have
staged
been
at Stellar
sitting
built.
around 36
from what I've
degrees
heard.
Celsius or 96 in Fahrenheit. So
and there's the
a
Ellis
dip sounds
bathroom
like
in
a
the
good
background.
idea.
Bathroom right there.
But as it turns out, we Aussies have a thing or two to learn about local conditions.
Oh my goodness! It's high country times 10 in here.
And if they went in like August, that's as warm as it gets.
Yeah, it's
Or July if it was between January because
it's-
the helicopter. So that's like as warm as it's gonna
yeah.
get.
Almost
Yeah.
done and dusted. And our grins pretty much couldn't get any wider.
Mate, today,
And this is what the Rubicon's all about, sitting around a chair.
honestly, I was a bit apprehensive about it because I don't know if there's going to be 100
Tell 'em
Jeeps
stories.
cruising over my car to try and get
Cracking a
it.
beer.
Yeah, exactly, you know.
I know they're always drinking beers at the end of the day on their videos. I love that.
We've been in America for a couple of days, we've got supplies, but we've driven out today to the trail, I call it the trailhead. And we got out here, there were Jeeps galore.
Yeah.
Really apprehensive.
About 200, mind you.
Exactly. Then you start the track thinking to yourself, don't want to get in the way, I'm going to get... Everyone is super friendly. They're
Yeah.
just stoked to see you having a crack.
Yeah, exactly right. If you get stuck or you break something,
Everyone jumps in.
okay.
Yeah,
it's
that's what it's all
okay.
about.
And that sort of.
God, I wish I had an Australian accent.
Sounds way cooler than when we were talking on video.
Hello, John.
So much fun.
Crikey.
It's actually kept up.
Get to watch Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah, we'll have to watch Crocodile Dundee. My friend, shout out to my friend Stu who lives in Sydney. Maybe I'll take lessons.
And I'm driving a manual, not an auto,
Yeah.
which is unheard of. So I'm having fun, man. I'm having so much fun.
So much.
It's
And
sick.
the best bit is we've got so much of the track to go.
So much more to do.
So I'm very stoked.
You have so much more to do. You've gone 1.25 miles.
I'm gonna have 7 beers tonight. Do you know what I mean? Sit around
Yeah, you
the
have
fire.
11 to go,
You guys
roughly.
are gonna go just a split second away. We're gonna have a good night.
Yeah.
Catch us a bit later.
Yeah, I wonder how many days they're on the trail.
Well, what do you think?
I don't know.
Day one of
I-
wheeling in the USA.
I don't know.
Yeah,
At
this
least,
rate-
at least 3.
At least 3
What
nights,
would you
4 days
prefer
for
to
this
wheel?
rate,
The Rubicon
unless they're really
Trail
going to pick up
or
the
an
pace
Aussie
tomorrow.
iconic track like the Old Telling? Tell us in the comments below.
What you reckon? I know the tracks and reckon. I'm like,
I reckon that guy's axle is toast.
Hope you guys are loving our trip to the Rubicon Trail. I really got to say, it was a trip of a lifetime. And the good news is, some of the best bits are still to come. Now, you would have no doubt seen us use our snatch recovery kits in some of the toughest four-wheel drive conditions.
Oh,
but
maybe it was
we're all about
staged.
getting one for
I don't know.
yourself. Now is the time to do it.
Gotta use that
Right
winch
now
at
on the
Gatekeeper so we get-
247.com website,
Does
you can
snatch have a different meaning in the United States than it does in Australia?
yeah,
I don't know.
snatch over here has a
But
much.
very different meaning.
Yeah, when I think of snatch, I'm not thinking of recovery gear.
No.
If you're in the US and wondering how do you get your hands on some of the gear we used on the Rubicon, a heap of it is available
just keep it
at
kid-friendly.
NapaOnline.com.
Napa?
We've got a huge range of
What
four-wheel
are they
drive
talking
gear
about?
that's
Napa's,
just about any
They have a
four-wheel
bunch
drive
of
vehicle
overlanding
in the
gear now.
country. And more gear is getting added every single week.
I've seen people buy awnings there and camping gear.
You break down, the Napa's very popular around Sacramento area, so if you break down, you're probably getting a part from Napa when it gets sent into you. Well, that's cool that they...
We've been privileged to experience camping in
48.59.
a lot of places,
Wonder who
but
that
this
is.
is something else. We may only be a tenth of the way along the track so far, but spirits
Ellis
are pretty
Bridge
high
right there.
after our first night under canvas.
Well, what a stunning, stunning little place. Woke up this morning with about 1 billion mosquitoes and they chose violence. Bit of spray sorted them out. Speaking of sprays, should have brought some bear spray with us. Didn't think I'd see a bear in America. It was one of the things on my bucket list. I wanted to tick that off last night. Just about everyone had gone to bed, and a few of the boys were up. One of the guys goes, "Oh, there's a coyote over there." Stoked. Get to see a coyote at least. We put the spotlights on him. No, it was a bear.
First I thought it was a bit of a G-up, but turns out there was a bear right here near my swag. They chased it off a couple of times, but it would have come right down. It probably even sniffed me when I was in my swag last night. I was gutted I didn't
It
get
says
to
the
see
4859 used to be
camping
Lauren
in the
Healy's
US,
number,
and a bear
which
comes into
Lauren's
camp.
very
What a time to be
famous. He
alive.
would have been on this
Bear
video.
safety is no joke
Maybe somebody
around
bought
here,
it from
and the
him.
advice is to keep your food sealed
Oh,
and
they,
locked in your vehicle.
they won't
and
put
not
you
to
in the
bring
video unless you're a
anything into your
sponsor.
swag that carries an odor.
So like, there's
The
people on
locals
this
always
trip
do their best to scare
who
off
aren't in the
any bear
video.
that comes
I know
into
some
camp.
guys who were on this
But
trip that
honestly,
aren't in
we're
the
just
videos at
stoked
all.
we got to experience this one firsthand.
Wow, look at that.
Most of the track's
And
biggest
it's
challenges
not like
still
they
ahead of
don't-
us. We've got to try and up our pace today.
They,
And
it's
the
it's
Stellar
more
boys
like
have
it's
given
not
us an
fair to the
objective
sponsors who
to
do
aim
pay
for,
to
a
have
secret
someone else get in the
campsite
video.
about halfway
Yeah,
along
that
the
makes
trail.
sense. I mean, they have 1 million subs. It's a whole different problem when you have 1 million subscribers.
Can't even imagine. It's
Love
impressive.
the sound. Big diesel in the morning. I was asking the boys last night. I said, how many other diesel vehicles you reckon's on the Rubicon Trail? Keep in mind, there's probably about
Stellar.
500 vehicles. Maybe 1,000 that'll do the Rubicon this weekend. They reckon there'll be none except for mine. It's pretty wild to think, eh?
Wait, that was Dave's Land Cruiser. I know that.
Well,
And there's the Ellis Creek Bridge.
Fantastic camp, mate. What a way to spend your first night in the States uncanvassed.
I don't like any gear on my roof when I'm on the Rubicon, by the way.
No, not a big fan.
Because the off-camber sections, that's just me personally. But
Yeah.
I like to have nothing on the roof. Other
Yeah.
people will disagree, and that's fine, but that's just me.
I do have a roof rack on my flat fender just because real estate's very tight in a flat fender.
You need it on the flat fender.
But it's my sleeping bag, it's my mattress, it's my tent, it's my clothes. It's not like cases of beer.
Yeah.
That's low.
Light stuff. Super light stuff. Those
Yes.
awnings can weigh 80 pounds.
Yeah, super light stuff.
Our first challenge of the day is just outside camp. Walker Hill, a long climb with several stages.
Yep.
Walker is basically right before Super Bowl.
Get a load of this
For anyone who doesn't know the trail.
Get into it.
In the wintertime, that is ice. You have to winch up and you have to winch down in the wintertime.
The left side's kind of the optional.
I have a video of Troy McClintock from Pirates of the Rubicon trying to make it up that on ice and doing a complete 180 back down.
Oh God, that'd be
just
so
on the ice.
Yeah, that sounds no fun at all.
If I find it, I will insert it in here. You're welcome.
Go Troy, go Troy, go Troy, go Troy, go Troy. You got it, you got it, you got it, you got it. You got it. Oh, shit.
That's it like a moose. All right, here we go.
Now he's got to commit.
The fact that there's water there is pretty unusual in July.
Yeah.
The Aussie crew have been sticking to the slow and steady approach, but the Red Arc boys, well, they've got a different idea.
Cut up and commit.
Send it.
Nice. It's actually not a very difficult obstacle, to be honest. That
No, it's not a very.
It might look worse on the camera. That's funny because normally on camera things look easier, but that one I think does look a little worse on camera.
Yeah.
Usually you just kind of crawl that right side.
Yeah.
Do good. This is such a cool little rock step, this one.
Maybe they got like 10 people
What
walking.
I'm going to try and do here
That's
is
cool.
not let those tyres
They got a
go
whole
in
crew.
the holes. I might try the higher side approach. Whoa. That's the high side approach.
I felt a bit sketchy on the rock for a
That
second.
rig is cool though.
That's just
The Dirty 30.
a lot of fun.
Diesel Land Cruiser. They called something different there. I don't think they called Land Cruisers though.
Yeah.
No will, is it?
Like, yeah, that jumper. Yeah, jumper, that's a sweater. Sloppy Joe, that's a sweatshirt
Had the measure of this one.
in Australia.
No idea.
Fun fact, it's true. Oh, turtled.
Can't park there, man.
Look at all the people walking. They have quite a crew there.
There's a lot of diff hangers like that in the middle of the trail too, where you want to stay in the middle, but you got to put your driver or passenger tire on that. I didn't see the line. I mean, that rock's been probably moved around a bunch that day specifically, let alone who knows where it came from. But
Oh, that rock.
That rock, big one. Now turn. Lovely.
it's good to pick your lines. I mean, if you're going up something steep you can't see, but if you're on flat ground, pick your line 50 feet out so you see that rock. You know that's going to be a diff hanger for you, and put your tires on it.
Yeah.
Because I do see that a lot, especially with like a first timer.
And the rocks just keep getting bigger. At last, we're nearing the top of Walker Hill.
Utah, that
But
was a
up ahead
plate.
is the most serious
So
challenge.
that's why they're local legends, but not, that's USA local legends.
So,
It's
like-
not, yeah, I just saw a Utah plate.
Drive it looked pretty easy to be honest with
So
you.
they're not, not like local like Georgetown or Sacramento or something.
Don't slip in. Fingers crossed it might just work.
Yeah, he's taking an optional line on the left right there.
Yeah, so this is where he is it's actually past Walker technically, and you're coming up on the benchmark as you get before Soup Bowl. The benchmark, there's a USGA service marker on the rock, so it's called the benchmark there, before Nobie's rock. And anyway, they're taking an optional harder line here. They're not taking, you can go to the right, and
Yep.
which so far they've taken a lot of the hard lines. I give them lots of credit.
Yeah. And a lot of those rigs are IFS.
But as it turns out, this one isn't so easy.
It's committing line.
That look on the face. That's the
Yeah.
concentration or like kind of that.
And suddenly,
It's the look of
That's-
the concern. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Very committing line.
Side flop right there.
Okay, have you ever flopped there?
No.
Neither have I, not
but-
even close. But their rigs are not,
They're top heavy.
they're top heavy, they're not made for rock crawling. He's got a lot of air in his tires compared to what we run in. I would guess he's at 20 if I was gonna just guess. Way higher.
Yeah, like a lot of top heavy weight, aired up tires. Probably went too far over. Like you got to straddle those V notches, right? Or else you
Yeah,
can't.
he didn't straddle
It's pretty
it
easy
enough.
to kind of like slip on a V notch like that too if you don't take it right.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff like that on the Rubicon.
Oh, and bam.
Luckily, he only side flopped.
Yeah.
Luckily, in that spot too, you're only probably going to side flop.
Yeah.
Into that hillside right
If
there.
you were on the far right and did it reverse, it's a long way down to the bottom.
We can push you over.
man. Push it over if you can.
Yeah, that's... Actually, they're just before Sultry, too.
Well, as you can see, Shauno's just taken a very committing line and just really gently rolled over onto his side.
I don't know how this has happened, but the 30
Very uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah, he probably went too far passenger, for sure, looking at that, and then could have stuck more driver, I think, and had that.
It was all going well, so it wasn't.
I think we're going to have to try and hold you down.
That was a bit of a heart starter. I'm not going to lie, but I'm committed to this line now, and the only way forward is up.
There he goes.
Right?
It's a big hole, too.
Yeah.
I'll wake you up. They just started, too, because from Ellis to here.
Yeah, half a mile.
Yeah. So, I mean, they just woke up a little bit ago.
Yeah, coffee hasn't even kicked in.
Yeah, it's an interesting way to start the day. I'll wake you right up.
Look, I'm a little bit shaken. I won't lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would be a little shaken too. I mean, it didn't, obviously not a lot of damage or anything, but anytime your wheels aren't on the ground, it's disconcerting. Yeah,
Shaky now. Just watch him, Pete. Oh, watch him.
I've set my rig up not just for
you can see they're standing on the line that most people take.
Yeah. Yep, that's the normal line.
So is that a bypass? Sure.
Yeah, I guess it's a bypass.
But it's still, I mean, if that's hard, it's less hard.
Yeah.
Got the foot on the brake and the accelerator and creeping as slow as I can.
He's still way too far into the notch.
Yeah, I was like, I would go more driver.
Yeah.
With how top it, I mean, yeah, that's a lot of weight. And that metal cargo box looks like it weighs a lot.
Yeah.
It's definitely different than what we're used to.
Yeah.
But like most of the wheeling they do is more long expeditions too, so they're not usually doing this type of wheeling either.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, their rigs aren't built for this.
I know, except for a shaky knee, I'm pretty good.
You did more damage the other day.
That's incredible. There you go. I can tick off a little rollover in the northern hemisphere now. Oh, we're gonna have to sit down for a bit, I think. That was pretty loose.
Well, day 2 on the Rubicon. As you can see, she's not for the faint-hearted. That's obviously the bonus line. It's a much easier line over to the right. So we'll speak to my co-driver and see what he thinks, but don't know. Let's just have a little powwow and see what's going on.
I love it that they've taken the harder lines. I think that's awesome.
More than a minor scratch. And a quick touch-up with a Raptor spray can will be all that's needed.
When you roll over on rocks, usually it's a lot of panel damage, but I'm looking through and
panel damage.
I can't believe it because this is the only damage on this bar work right here. So my brush bar's actually protected, I guess, the whole door. And if you come back and then have a look down here, so the sliders have got it here, the tray, the canopy, not even the guard.
He got off light.
Yeah, it's like there's basically no damage.
It's a bit of dust. That is all.
Usually what would happen in that situation, he would have lost his mirror.
Yeah, like very least. And he did have those kickoff bars over the fenders, which probably helped keep him up a little bit, and like not prevent the fender and the doors from getting totally smashed in.
All right, well, we've decided we're going to...
They keep driving over the middle of rocks, over the middle of it, and I don't understand.
Go, yeah. If you've never been on the Rubicon, put your tires on those rocks. I know they're in the middle of the trail, and you think you're supposed to drive in the middle. Go a little bit to the left or right. Put your driver passenger on them.
Drive over them or around them.
Or around it. Yeah.
And they move around, so it's not like, you know, one day it's over here, the next day it's over there. They just move around.
Yeah. They change by the hour.
Yeah.
All the difference, and the Jeep just cruises way up.
Still looking at his air. His air's like maybe like 18 pounds. It's hard to tell, but definitely I would be a lot lower.
Slightly different line and made all the difference.
Yeah, I would air down more. Try to bring less gear so you don't have anything on the roof. But like I said, that's just me. I see people load up their roof racks completely with stuff. I mean, even on JK when you have stuff like an old CJ, you need it.
Not for the wheeling, just for the scenery. It's freaking believable.
After seeing me almost end up on my lid, the Tacomas
From that view, it didn't look like anything.
opted for a B line.
Like nothing right there.
Yeah, he went the...
Well done.
I just mean like that top, that high level view. It just looks like a dirt road right there. You're like, that's not a dirt road. That looks like that. It looks like that.
Yeah.
Your wheel is special.
Oh yeah, that squeeze rock.
That's Nobie's Rock right there.
That's called Nobie's Rock?
That's
I didn't know that's
Nobie.
what that's called.
That's Nobie's Rock.
The first time I ran the trail in my early 20s.
That is Nobie's Rock there, that big rock there. That is Nobie's Rock. The county refers to it as Nobie's Rock. And here's a fun fact. So they had to do some work, gosh, probably 10 years ago now. And they rolled that rock out of the way, and because they brought in a loader, so that because they were doing work at Soup Bowl to keep the water away from Soup Bowl.
Okay.
And so they moved that rock out of the way. And I know John Arns, when he watches this, he's going to be very sad. But I had the parks manager for the county in my Razor with me, and I said, "Hey, when you guys are done, can you roll this rock back? Because if you went on Pirate 4x4, which was like the place to go before Facebook and all that, Lance Clifford and Camo, you go on Pirate 4x4, there was all these posts. They moved Nobie's Rock out of the way. All the locals were up in arms over it. And so I told the parks manager, hey, when you guys are done, can you please move the rock back? I swear to God, they probably moved it back in almost the exact same spot that it was before.
That is cool. I had no idea they moved it and put it back.
Yeah, moved it and put it back.
The first time I ran the trail, that spot sketched me out. Nowadays,
there at Soup Bowl right there.
That was Soup Bowl. And those buggies were going down Soup Bowl. Hey, sure.
And there's Craig Remke. He's in the driver's seat. No, that's Craig right there. He's riding shotgun. It's hard to tell. Yeah.
It is so cool that they have that rig.
Yeah.
What a job.
Oh, he's got one of the scarves. One of the ones they hand out, right?
Yeah.
But it's basically a play area for everyone, but it's a really off-cambered into a brick wall sort of obstacle here, so I'm going to go real slow and hopefully keep the doors in my
Oh yeah, it feels really, you're not going to roll over there because there's a wall there, but it feels really weird.
That's the bypass, by the way.
Yeah, that's the bypass.
They're on the bypass.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like the bypass. It's off camber. Yeah, and that's Soup Kitchen. I don't know if we're allowed to say that.
Yeah.
If you go up.
After a long stint picking lines.
Okay, now they're not doing the little sluice box. They're doing the bypass.
Yeah. Yes.
Hopefully they show some of this and you can see what a bypass looks like on the Rubicon.
Yeah.
By mid-afternoon, we've made it a grand total.
You can point people to this video. Say, dude, if you want to see what the bypasses are.
Yep, they've gone 4 miles.
That's the bypass, by the way.
Yeah, that's the bypass that they're on.
Just keeps on going, and what I mean by that is usually you've got a bit of a gap between all challenges. The Rubicon Trail, there's no shortage. That just doesn't stop with challenges. So we're just doing a little nothing bit at the moment. You call this transit, but you're lifting tyres, you're flexed up, you're crossing over.
That is the little sluice bypass that they're on right there.
Yep. And then it just keeps going. Like, and see all the rocks way.
The view is amazing. Yep.
Yeah.
It keeps going like this, and like some of these rocks.
I have so much respect for those dudes who brought the freaking Yodas, those clean late model Yodas.
Yeah.
Like right under your dip pumpkin or something like that, it holds you up. It's just, look at this, see this bit here right here. This is a whole challenge, but you know what? I don't even know where I'm going now.
Oh my God, it has been the day of days. Dusty, it's been hot. It's hot, like over 40 degrees, but you can see snow all
40
around.
degrees, what is that?
Crazy.
107?
It's not 107.
No.
No, I'm sorry. 24/7 4x4 guys, love you, but it's never been 107 at the Rubicon.
It might have been in like Sacramento that day.
Yeah.
It could have been like might have been like 97 or something in Rubicon. 94.
Easily 107 in Sacramento, but if it's 107 in Sacramento, it's 87 on the Rubicon.
Which feels really hot.
It feels
really
way more than 87 when you're out there in the sun and the sun's beating on you.
Elevation.
And you'll get sunburn on your arms if you don't have a long sleeve shirt on, because you got your arm out your window and the sun's beating on you, and you will end up with sunburn on your arm and the side of your face. So sunscreen, kids.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Tell you what.
And your legs.
I've not
if you have no doors.
Like the boys have been
your left leg.
The last 2 days on this trip. Everything about it is
that spot's a little tricky when you connect back after a little sluice. They're right at the end of the. I mean, it's not easy.
Merlin's office is right there. The bench that's there.
I'm not even joking. There'd be hundreds.
That section's actually called the office. That's V notch right there.
Oh yeah, there.
And that's definitely Jeep Jamboree USA helicopter.
Obviously, firstly they set a steering on the other side, then they realise it's a Toyota, then they realise it's a diesel. Those things.
Yeah, I'd be tripping out if I didn't know.
I'm gonna pause. I followed a diesel one time in my Razor, which is like open. Obviously no windshield, and I could not wait to pass them because it smelled terrible. It's diesels on the Rubicon Trail are not exactly, because you're not moving fast enough. So all this diesel smoke is all coming around. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to deny anybody what they want to bring, but it's not ideal.
This Rubicon Trail, but come with me. This is like pretty standard. So when you come up to a bit of a challenge, you've got something like this.
It's my buddy Dave, and that's his Land Cruiser.
Oh.
But not much Land Cruiser left in it. This one here is, I don't even know what this one is. This is just a buggy, some description. This is a cool Jeep though. This is running 40s. Check this out. This is what they call an LJ. It's got, some would say, the perfect
best.
wheel
It's
base.
LJ is the all-time best.
Ultimate rig. Scrambler, no fuel injection, modern amenities.
And a perfect wheelbase.
Yes.
In Aussie language, 37s of course. Street driven.
That's a great rig right there.
I know, I bet you that thing's a lot of fun too. Old Yoda, 37s, Yoda
An old
axles.
Yoda on
The
37s.
goal of the day
Money.
is a special camp that few on the Rubicon get to experience. But getting there, it's proven to be a mission.
Okay, now I know their whole job. They have 1 million subscribers. Their job is to create a story, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
John, where are they going to go for their secret place that's difficult to get to? Where are they going?
The RTF property.
That's open to the public 24/7, 365. It's not anything special, but so they embellished slightly.
Telling a story.
They're telling a story. I don't begrudge them, right? Because 99.9% of the people that are watching this, you know, it just doesn't matter to them, and it creates a little, you know, storyline for them.
Yeah.
They didn't contact us. I was the president at the time when this happened. They didn't contact me at all or ask me, but I know they talked to Glenn, and I'm pretty sure that Glenn's the one that told them that they could make the left-hand turn and go down and camp. So they may have been thinking of it in terms of like it was a special exclusive place because Glenn, our mid-trail staff, told them where it was and where to turn. It's actually at the 4.5 mile marker. When you look up on the tree, there's a marker that says 4.5 miles. There's a sign that says RTF property that way, and that's where you turn left, and that's where they're going to go right now because I've seen the episode before.
Yeah.
But so they may have, to be fair to them, they may have felt like they were going because they just got invited by Glenn to go to this place that, you know, obviously is off the trail.
Pretty exciting.
So yeah, they probably thought so. It's open to the public. Anybody can go. So when you see them, you can go there. But anyway,
I think it's down there somewhere, mate. I reckon
it is down there somewhere.
It goes down there and drops off a big cliff.
Oh, no, right where they're at.
That's a bit spooky, that is. That's
Yeah.
a little bit spooky. That's where we're thinking camp is tonight, folks. If you look, I don't know whether you can see it, but behind us is a massive lake. That's not.
That's
today's
Buck
future,
Island Lake.
That's tomorrow's future for us, which looks like we could be there.
And the
in half
RTF
an hour.
property is literally right behind them.
Yeah, if it was nighttime, you'd be able to see their headlights from the property. It's actually pretty cool at the property at night, seeing all the rigs come down.
Yeah.
Here's the reason. Wow, look at this. Just get a load of that.
It's very beautiful. That view is amazing. I forget it's even there because I'm always so focused on getting somewhere.
You know, and just go, okay, that was cool. Trail tick.
No,
But
this is. It's.
I reckon we need to get down there before that sun gets low.
Where is this?
And
Same place it is in Australia? No, not really.
the bottom of this hill is probably going to take us the next hour or two.
It will. It will. All right, come on.
It will take them an hour to get there. Assuming no filming and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're just past Arnold's Rock.
I'm still tripping out on the water crossing.
Look at the camera guy sitting there in the bushes.
Oh, wow.
Did you see that?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
God, they have like a whole crew that all they do is record.
Yeah.
We try to
There he is. He's in the blue there, sitting in the bushes.
And they had another guy to his left. And there's
Yeah, and there's another guy there.
There's one more right over here that.
A number of body.
So I've actually filmed some videos. I used to ride quads a lot. I had a website. It's still there. It's got a lot of stuff on there. It's called ATV Obsession. And, but I had a guy call me. His name's Thomas Opry, and he has a film company called Tahoe Films, but he's in Montana. And he saw some of my pictures and videos on the internet. We're talking 2006.
Oh, wow.
And so I filmed 6 mountains. I'm on Mountains in Mud 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 I'm on them. And filming takes so much time, so much time to film a professional DVD. And we would do stuff over, and we filmed the Rubicon on episode 5 on Mountains and Mud 5. We did it there. Anyway, so over and over and over again, filming stuff. And he always used to say, turn on your headlights. So all of our headlights would be on because it makes it epic.
Is manage access to the area. But one of the groups working tirelessly to keep the track open to four-wheel drivers is the Rubicon Trail Foundation.
Yay!
That's cool. That's really cool that they called us out.
Section of private land they manage along the Rubicon, and apparently it's one of the best camp spots in the area.
It's awesome.
Of course, though, we've still got to get
That
there.
spot.
Got the heartbeat. That probably felt sketchier than nearly anything today.
Yeah, that'll get your heart rate going. I know exactly where they're at. I've ran that a million times, it feels like, and I still get a little sketched out every single time when you're dropping down those.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, I acted tough then. I had a little butt squeeze go then. Holy balls.
They put a snorkel in there.
Yeah, they didn't go down Trash Can Hill, I don't think. They stopped at the little Rubicon crossing.
You've got this, big fella.
Well, they're still.
Yeah, they're still on the trail.
Yeah, they're still. God, and that. I mean, that's a lot of weight up high. Oh wow, do you see the whole thing?
Yeah.
The actual cab and the box like
Yeah.
flex together.
Shadows are getting long.
At long
They're,
last, nearly 12 hours
They're
after
on
we
this.
left camp this morning,
12 hours to
we
go
arrived
from
at our
Ellis. Oh wow.
destination for the
yeah.
night.
To go from Ellis to the property.
Yeah.
But you're recording. I mean, and they're doing high quality stuff. This is
Yeah.
amazing quality.
Stunning, mate. And the campsite, I believe, is that flat bit of rock down there.
I don't know that I've ever stayed anywhere as dramatically
Yeah, don't
spectacular
they stay in the
as this,
water?
mate.
Yeah. And that is the little Rubicon that comes out of Buck Island.
Our generation don't care about nudity, mate. We're about to get totally buck wild, get in that river and have a
Oh,
wash.
yeah.
Oh, this is a family channel. I don't know.
They don't have to worry about crocodiles.
Look at this place. My giddy aunt. Look, it's a waterfall here. Like a little mini
That's actually where my mom's ashes
Never
are,
camped anywhere like this
were
before.
done.
It's breathtaking. I don't know. I'll never say that word, but I'm using it right now.
How is it?
Amazing.
Isn't it?
Unreal. You can't beat this.
Yeah.
Wouldn't want to be anywhere else right now.
Yeah, it's a beautiful spot.
Maybe
It's
in the
maybe
creek.
halfway between the trail and the group camp.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
roughly.
about a half mile.
That feels amazing right now.
Yeah.
With how hot it was. It wasn't 107, but it was hot. You feel like $1,000,000. They'll get all the dust and sunscreen and bug spray off you.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's like, yeah, it's cold as hell, but you feel amazing.
Yeah. And if you're hungover, you won't be when you get out.
Oh God. Yeah. It's like, wakes you up. You feel rejuvenated getting in the water at the end of the day or the beginning of the day on the trail.
They've had a long day to get to this point. And they've only gone 4.5 miles of the roughly 12 miles of the trail.
This is the greatest four-wheel drive experience I've ever had in my entire life.
That
Yeah.
gratitude and appreciation. I love that. You want to cut it?
We might be on the other side of the globe, but that doesn't mean we can't have a good old-fashioned Aussie cook-up. And tonight, let's just say some skin's going to be pulled, and we're going to cook up an old Aussie favourite.
A little mini bed.
I don't know anything about Aussie food, so this will be interesting.
Yeah, they always cook on the show or on the YouTube channel. They always make good-looking food.
And that's what it looks like.
We'll take it all in right now because have a look at that. There's a nice little red queue going over those mountains. I mean, after a day of wheeling like we've had today, to come to a campsite like this, I mean, we've all said it, nothing short of amazing, but the one thing that'll make this better, of course, is a bit of Aussie cuisine, because we've got a couple of Americans here in camp, and trust me when I say this, they've never tasted a bit of four-wheel drive 24/7 cooking, and tonight, we might just change their lives.
They make some interesting stuff.
Yeah. Let's see what it is.
Yeah, I wonder what they make.
I
haven't watched the video since it came out. I don't remember.
No, exactly. Yeah, that's a great shot right there.
Or are they not showing dinner?
First meal, I'll cook it on US soil.
Okay, here we go.
Announcement.
Curry sausages. Because
The fact is, we've got a couple of locals here that have probably never tried curry sausages, and I feel sorry for them.
A what sausage?
One of my favourite dishes of all time.
Curry sausages? I don't know what is it. Curry
It
sausages?
was very hard to get
It's
the
like
ingredients.
turtle sausages.
I need a Star Trek Universal Translator.
Coles normally, everything I need's there.
Did you get sausages? That's the main thing.
Well, speaking of, I'll just go grab those real quick.
Roger?
Okay.
Holy balls, talk me
Oh
through
wow.
this.
This might be a US thing,
Maybe.
but I was trying to find. Anyway, I was trying to find some smaller snaggers, something I was used to. You know what I mean? That's what I suggest.
Everything's big in the US, my friend.
Oh shit.
The New York
Oh,
style
God.
pork sausage. That's the best pork sausage I could get.
To be fair, that's average size sausages.
Wonder if they went to like the Safeway in Pollock Pines
Yeah.
on the way up. I don't think I've ever seen a sausage pack like that though.
No.
Like even at like Safeway,
I'm not sure. I don't have any idea where they got it. Yeah. But that does look like a Safeway sticker.
it does, yeah.
Right now. So we're actually boiling the sausage.
The yellow part is the discount for his Safeway card, which
Yeah.
they didn't have.
Yeah.
It's not pretty. I'll give you the hot tip. It's not pretty. But the thing is, they'll cook really nicely, and then it's a bit of a Laverson thing. We're going to pull the skin off them, obviously, and we'll cut them up at the same time. We'll get the other ingredients going. Right, it's been about 20 minutes. Time to
Holy heck.
check these guys out.
The smell, they're not Australian sausages. They're certainly not Australian sausages.
haven't got any smaller.
That's not what I'm used to.
Sometimes they shrink in the water, but not these. I feel weird doing it so
I have no idea what this is leading up to.
Normally,
Yeah.
Australian snaggers have a fair bit of skin on them.
They're pulling the skin off the sausage?
I like that they have all the energy right now to do all this.
Yeah, we don't do that. We don't take the skin off the
The
sausage.
skin on these guys, I might need some hands here.
They're having a good
This
time
is
right
going to
now.
take all night.
Holy
Oh,
balls.
jeez.
That's a fair. Now, wait, we're in bear country. Don't go flicking the
No,
skin.
don't be flicking the skin.
Holy heck, they're hot.
The skin is like really thin on these ones.
That's the size of my head.
They're big snaggers.
It's difficult to do.
It's a lot of work.
Oh god. Yeah, I'm just like
It's for beginners, mate.
I'm like,
I planned them, trying to plan quick and dirty meals.
I'm
I'm
like,
moving a lot.
yeah, I got my pre-made chicken. I got all my taco ingredients. I throw it out, reheat it, and boom, dinner.
Yeah, I'll do.
And I know what my hands look like after a day of wheeling on the Rubicon, and I don't.
Yeah, they're disgusting.
Yeah.
There you go.
Dirt, oil, sunscreen, bug spray.
Exactly.
They're just filthy.
They're having fun though.
Please buy me a drink first, mate.
Oh damn. Oh man, that's awesome. Sausage fest.
You know, they can buy the sausage part without the skin. You can buy the sausage already ground that you can just buy the sausage.
They probably didn't know that.
Yeah, because that's what I think they're trying to do is they're trying to get to just the meat.
It is 6 to 1.
I don't know what's happening.
They have like a ton of onions there, it looks like.
The way he handled that, Dylan was pretty good at it too. I'm going to rip into the Dominic, mate.
Whipping
Get some
cream?
He's
Okay.
got like heavy cream. What is he doing now? What else has
I
he
don't
got?
know, but it's
What is that? Carrots?
onions
Okay,
going in.
carrots.
Yes. That'll clear the pan up.
onions.
So I don't want to go too
Okay,
wild
like
with
so
the heat.
far.
And the good thing about this is you can actually
What's
keep
that?
the heat really nicely.
On this thing, yeah.
I do like that jet boil. That's
Is that like lemongrass in a tube?
Size pieces. Curry powder. We're gonna go a
Okay,
fair
he
bit.
might have said curry sausages. I
curry
wasn't
sausages,
sure.
yeah.
I was asking,
Now we
I couldn't
know.
find any cream, right?
Heavy whipping cream.
So I was like, mate, where's the thickened cream? And he's like, no idea. He's like, you mean whipped cream? Like the...
Yeah, out of the can.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I was like, nah, I had to Google it. Turns out heavy
Oh,
cream
yeah.
to go. Sausages go straight
Yeah.
in.
That's a
Gee whiz,
proper
they really
way
nailed
to
it,
add.
don't they? You
Yeah.
can grab, see that sausage juice?
It looks
Boil
hearty.
it together,
I'm
mate.
like,
Some
what?
of it
And
milk
it's got-
here.
is that
So
milk?
same portions. I'll tell you when to stop. Stop. Oh, yeah, good at it. I was just joking. There's a little bit more.
I've got a surprise coming.
It looks good. It looks like a lot of work though.
That's a beef cube.
Beef bouillon.
I love stock cubes,
Yeah,
man.
100%.
Like if I'm posted up for a couple days at like one spot,
Yeah.
RTF Property or something, yeah, could like
Yeah.
that.
Chuck the peas in, mate. So
Maybe the camera guys clean up the kitchen afterwards.
It's nice. Well, that's true. They have to feed staff too. Like the camera people, they have a lot of people to feed.
They look like there's 15 people there total, maybe
Yeah.
20.
We should be ready to go.
That's a lot of people to feed.
Oh wow.
Mate,
It would be nice to have some rice with that.
Yeah.
We've got we've got some mash as well, with no masher, mind you. The boys have done really, really
no
well.
masher, and they've done that.
Yeah, it's actually looking pretty darn good. Boys, get a plate. We're on.
Get that in here, mate.
All right.
I need it. I like curry. It's a different type. Oh, look at that. He's got the can of corn. Interesting.
Oh, he's using the can to scoop it out. That's actually pretty clever.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
The can, but that's all I got tonight.
If you don't have a serving spoon.
Yeah.
No, it's really good, mate. That is fantastic. An Aussie meal on an American trail.
Oh my goodness.
You're drinking the sauce. How nice is it?
They're so good.
Yeah, it's
I'm actually
really
drinking
awesome.
the sauce.
The local
Watching them
fellas,
handle
what
the
do you reckon?
sausages was hilarious.
I've never had anything like it.
I bet you haven't, no? What does that mean? Good news.
Okay. So there's still like another half an hour to go, and we're already an hour and 10 minutes into this. So I thought we should probably we could split this up into part 1 and part 2.
Yeah. I agree.
So we can do that. But really, as you can see, the joy that they had on this trip is just off the hook. And
Yeah.
I wish they had called us.
I know, right?
I wish they had
Be out
called
there,
us.
go out
And
there.
we would have been there at the property waiting for them, and they could have gone down Trash Can Hill, and we had barbecue. We have a barbecue down there that we have in our storage container, you know.
yeah.
So we could have let them use that. But anyway, but they had a good time, clearly, with or without us. But
Yeah.
anyway, so we'll just wrap this up for part 1 of four-wheel drive 24/7 reaction of their trip on the Rubicon, and they just finished dinner. And so anyway, thank you for watching. And what do we usually say? Like, subscribe, and
Yeah, like, subscribe, comment below. If you can, share it out on social media if you like it that much. It helps us a lot. It's hard to grow our YouTube, and we're trying to grow the YouTube as much as possible. So
the YouTube, is that what you call it?
I don't know. The YouTube.
Anyway, thank you, and let's go wheeling. We'll look for part 2.
Yeah.